Rare earth stocks were one of the hottest trades on the ASX in 2025, and they're running again. China is tightening its grip on supply, prices are rising, and the US is pouring billions into alternatives, with Australia right in the middle of it. Are we about to see a repeat of 2025? Stay tuned as we answer all that and give you 3 rare earth stocks primed for takeoff. Backed by Australia's leading government accredited share trading, education and insights sought after by major media Australia-wide. I am Philip Tortevsky, joined by senior analyst Pedro Vinales, and we are Wealth Within. Good evening.
Good evening, Phil. What a time to discuss rare earths. I think we definitely are in round 2.
Yes, it sure is. So let's not waste any time and dive right in. Now, first up, we have the biggest rare earth player in Australia. That is Lynas Rare Earths. Let's go and dive in to the chart of that one. Pedro, this is the best known producer outside of China. It had an amazing 2025. Mind you, this is one we were looking at for all our regular viewers, and hopefully they saw what we saw around this period back in March 25. We covered it a few times in 25 and it had a massive run. What's super interesting right now, and if you do want to recap that, please go and check out some of our earlier shows. You'll find that on our Wealth Within YouTube channel. But what's happening now is very interesting to me. This is the monthly chart. We've had that explosive run up. We've naturally seen a pullback. In fact, we've seen 2 pullbacks, and we're pulling back into a region where, if you have a look throughout history, or since this stock has, if we go back all the way to 2008, it goes even deeper. But let's just go back and consider from 2008, where we've seen resistance. The market had a crack at it in 2011, but then it became resistance again in 2022. Now we've had not just one, we've had 2 attempts at that $12.60, $13 level on the flip side, meaning we're holding above that level, which is something we haven't seen since 2008. So when we initially blew off, it was, okay, what next? Is this really a sign of strong buying and we are likely to experience another leg higher? Well, time was going to tell us with the way sellers reacted. And so far, the way sellers are reacting is quite bullish. I mean, we've literally had a crack at 13 2 times, closing higher again on that second attempt. We're on this momentum line. And if I just zoom in on that weekly chart, you'll see that right now we're approaching something very, very interesting. Right now we're being told Lynas is approaching that next barrier, which could see takeoff very, very soon. So what I would like to see with Lynas right now on the short-term time frame, we're coming off this pullback. We have seen buyers come in. Would like to see it take out this momentum at $17, and then see what kind of reaction we get from sellers. Because if we see the sellers fail to take out that July 26 low, we're getting a clue from the market that we're finally basing out higher following this short to medium term down move. And I think right now is the perfect time to be watching this, especially on the back of what is happening with China, what is happening with the US looking for that alternate provider, and some stuff going out with Japan as well in terms of China and Japan, and getting some of that rare earth or the dynamic around the supply and demand with those 2 countries. But your thoughts, Pedro, on Lynas? This is the biggest one we've got. It's a producer. Right now it's doing something it hasn't done in a while. For me, it's very interesting. And I think the next few months tells us whether we're going to get round 2 of this rare earth story.
Yeah, absolutely. And, rounds is the best way to put it, because we are in the midst of a mega trend when it comes to rare earths. It really is the resource that's needed for the modern era. And just wait until robots start to hit the mainstream, because, they're heavily reliant on rare earths. So basically the whole AI story, defense is another big one. And China has a monopoly on it right now, and they're utilizing it, as much as they can. And recently with Japan, they weren't too happy with their comments on Taiwan. So they've restricted some pretty important rare earth materials to them. And now Japan is scrambling, looking for alternatives. And of course, Australia is very well positioned to meet that demand. However, we're still going up that value chain. We've just been a miner, but now we're seeing more and more Australian companies start to produce and refine those rare earths. And LYC is one of them. They've got a manufacturing plant in Malaysia, actually turning those rare earth materials into magnets, and that's really the main thing. So with all that backdrop, yes, we are in a long-term trend, but that doesn't mean that you just park your money in a stock and then just watch it go up. You can see that these are, at the end of the day, resource stocks, which are very cyclical. And like Phil pointed out on the chart, this has a history dating all the way back to the 90s. And you can just see it's not a stock that you just want to just park your money in and just watch it, go through this whole roller coaster ride. So now we are at that long-term trend from that 2015 level. You can see that the trend is fully up, but it does ebb and flow on the way up. Yes, the rise is linear, but the actual trading is not. But at the moment, we've got an opportunity as it's pulling back down to this trend. When we go to the weekly chart, what I do like is that it found some support before it hit this previous level here. So when you start to see higher bases being formed, I think if it holds up above this $13, and it is holding up quite nicely, it's broken above that downward momentum. As long as it makes higher bases and then continues to the upside, I think that this one is long-term bullish. And we have to see what their profitability is like and so on. Of course, the reports are important, but the chart, I mean, that's going to tell you exactly when the right time to be in this stock.
Absolutely. All right, let's now dive into our second stock. And we've got a few actually that we've never covered on this show. So stick around for the next one after that as well. But we've got Lindian Resources next, code LIN. Now, Pedro, I'll let you take this one away. But just before you do, for everyone out there, it's developing the Kankuri rare earth project in Malawi, which is under construction and targeting its first production in Q4 2026, which is right around the corner, which makes this a potential re-rating story from developer to producer. That offers or dangles a beautiful carrot if they can get that to be successful. And I think just that you can clearly see, for me, it's a story of really how stocks change over time. And you can see how illiquid this one has been for so long. Things are turning right now. And so from that lens, when liquidity improves, when all of the stuff becomes more participation, it really alerts you to the fact that, hey, there may be some different players coming into this stock, and that means something. So with that said, Pedro, take this one away, Lindian Resources.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. And the chart is showing a company that's becoming a little bit more mature. And you can clearly see that from this line that we marked here in 2022. The personality of the stock has completely changed. A lot more liquidity has been injected. And that's where you want to start looking at it. Let everybody else take the risks when it's down there. You don't want to be a trader or an investor around this time. You're just going to be parking your money. But when it starts to show that volatility, and you can start to analyze these movements, and believe me, you can definitely apply some very valuable insights by knowing how to apply certain price analysis to the chart, and also pattern, all that, everything that we cover in our courses. And really, it's basic. Price will tell you when it's going up, and price will tell you when it's going down. And at the moment, it is holding up above that trend. It's holding up above that 66 to 70 cents. And the limit there is at $1. And we all know what happens once a stock breaks above that $1 mark. It starts to get into the eyes of the institutions, and the big money starts flowing in. And right now we're seeing some more volume come into it. And I love the fact that price is going up at the same time that volume is going up as well. It means that it is being supported. At the moment, it's showing a little bit of weakness, just short-term weakness. These things happen. It does ebb and flow. Like I said earlier, we could be coming back to this trend. Could see something like this, bouncing off this momentum, or even a little bit deeper into that 66 or 70 cents until we see that next move up. And how much do we have to that next move? And of course, you don't want to be picking it up just purely on support. You want to see some type of confirmation. And there was some confirmation around this area that you could have used. Same with here. You can use a multiple ways to analyze it. There's short-term bar analysis, like I mentioned earlier, pattern, price, and time. And then that will tell you when to be in. So 43% from that low. Right now, it's at that midpoint. So I'll just be watching to see where it's going. But this one is looking quite good. And I think that if it does break above that dollar, that could definitely go higher. We've seen this similar type of formation form on other stocks that we've covered, even in different areas, such as defense and, other stocks on the ASX that look similarly, and we say, hey guys, watch this because it looks like something's about to happen. And it can be 1 week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 6 months, whatever. But the key thing is patience, knowing what to look for, and then capitalize off that next move. Because once it does get above that $1, I would actually classify that as blue sky, even though back here, it was a completely different stock back there. But once it's above that $1, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah, and I think, guys, we try to give you as much as we can without diving too much into our IP, which, as you would understand, is something that we do hold very dearly. It is government accredited, our share trading education. If it's something you want to learn, please go and check out the website, wealthwithin.com.au. Look at our government accredited diploma of share trading and investment. As mentioned, unfortunately, we can't show everything that goes on in our head or what we teach, but we try to give you as much as possible. If you want an introduction, check this book out. It's How to Beat the Managed Funds by 20%. It is free. You just have to pay the shipping. The link is in the description in this video. That is a really nice, smooth introduction to some of the things that you will learn. But like Pedro said, it's all about being able to read that price, because once you can do that, it's like reading a language, and you can really make some amazing trades and structure your stuff so you can work with profit in the stock market. But let's now move into our third stock, which is another one that we've never covered on this show, St. George Mining Limited. Now let's go to the chart of St. George, and this one is a double play. So it owns the Araxa rare earths and niobium project in Brazil, which already contains a large amount of rare earths. After raising 60 million, the company is now working towards developing the project into a mine, while more drilling could make the discovery even bigger. So from explorer to developer, that's the story going on with St. George. Yes, it is a little more riskier, I would say, than some of the others, but nevertheless, cyclical like the rest of them. And what is really interesting, again, we have a scenario where liquidity and volatility is starting to improve. You're seeing much less erratic behavior like was back in that 2012 period. Although this 17 or 18 cent level is still a bit of a headache right now for this stock. You can clearly see recently it tried to get through there. But what I like that is promising is that rather than selling off deeper into where this one truly has into that 4 or 3.5 cent range, we're now potentially starting to see a pullback or support around that 8 cent range. So if we coming from this massive level of buying, which was very evident from September 2025. Have a look at this 1 month's worth of price action. You can factor in October as well, and go throughout the history of this stock since it became much more liquid around this period. You won't see that kind of buying. In fact, every other time you did see it, November 17, boom, completely wiped. I go back to this period through here, October, boom, completely wiped. May, completely wiped. Like literally within 1 month, that buying is really wiped. And that is often the hallmark that you're dealing with a low liquid stock in speculation mode where most of the retail is playing. But when you see really strong buying like this, and we've had now from October 25 to August, almost a year worth of price action, and we haven't been able to touch through the bottom of this level, we're basically walked into the buying and holding up. That is something that raises eyebrows for the ones that know what they're looking for. And so if I just go to that weekly chart, some other things that are holding up for this one here is what's quite interesting. Again, look at that volume, ridiculously different to anything in the past. That only happens when a certain type of player walks into the market, and it ain't retail. And so big volume come through here. It's holding still. I mean, what's really nice is, we've really seen as the stock's fallen away, the volumes come off. Now we're starting to get a bit of a reversal. Volume is starting to pick up again. But like Lynas, the turnaround story isn't there. And this is why we always say you need to know how to trade with confirmation. There are certain things that you need to look for on the way price is unfolding, which I'm not going to cover here, but they give you the clue about when it's time to go. But it's definitely time to be watching this one here. Above 10 cents looks very interesting for me. And everything right now that it's doing, as long as it holds this really strong buying that it did through that 5-6 cent level and starts to make moves up above this 7-8 cents, it then becomes a really interesting proposition, especially if those tailwinds of the development story start to unfold for this one here. But a little more specky than the others, nevertheless. for those out there, just be mindful at 8 cents that you do look at how much volume is being traded on the day or on the week. If you're looking at positioning, make sure the position you're taking is not going to be that great that you're not going to be able to get out of the stock at a price level that you want. So all things that are important to know when you're actually trading a stock. But again, this is more just for looking, not for trading and showing you ideas of what may come next in terms of price. So I think for this one, it's at make or break right now. 8 cents, it's got to hold, move up. If it starts to break lower below 4.5, I think it's going potentially back down to that 2, and then it becomes one to put in the back pocket. So watch this level like a hawk and watch this momentum. If we start breaking through, it gets very interesting for St. George Mining. Pedro, your thoughts here, mate?
Yeah, this one is setting up so nicely. And you mentioned that that type of move only happens when a certain player enters the field. And that certain player goes by the name of Gina Reinhardt. She has increased her holding in this stock up to 10.2%. So, you know, there's some serious money going into this company. They've actually got a huge stake in Brazil. They've got high-grade niobium that has been discovered there, and they are looking to transition from that explorer to that producer. So I think that they're close. They've got the backing. They've got that $60 million, funding that they've just received. So this could be the thing that turns it around. And that's the beauty about trading and being investors. You can let the big players take the risks and invest in the company. And we can actually see that playing out on the chart in terms of price action and volume. And all you need to do is put in a certain amount, and then you can benefit along with the rest of them. So right now it's trading at 9 cents, almost 10 cents. It is a very low cap stock. But again, with high risk comes high rewards. When you think about that from this level up to that top line that you've marked there, which is that next resistance level at around that 17 cents, got 100% upside. So that's quite a nice amount for a company that's been fueled by, you know, those institutional and sophisticated investors. And we just have to, pretty much just jump on the back of that wave and ride it up. Again, I would definitely like to see it break above that momentum, like Phil mentioned. But it is setting up nicely. It's holding up for the moment. To the downside, the risk is obviously that it trades below that 7 cents. And then if in that case, then it could be heading down to a little bit lower. And I would say that the next support is probably at around that 4 cents. But if it's around that 4 cents, you'd probably just sit back and just wait until it proves itself again. But right now, it's at a critical point. I'd definitely be keeping this on my watch list.
Awesome. If you want more hot stocks, check out this video.